the Ascended Masters are using every possible window to make contact with the people of Earth. But still, the numbers, you know, of those who are consciously working with the Ascended Masters are around 5 million. There's millions more that know about us, but they couldn't care less. They know about the Ascended Masters, and they think all of you who work with the Ascended Masters are weird. So, you know, it's not going to be that soon. And I don't want to have to say to you, well, we told you so. I mean, Saint Germain gave the warnings. Prophets in the past have given the warnings. Your own science is now supporting us in what we are saying, that potential catastrophic conditions could unfold. Seismic activity within the structure of your planet is at an alarming rate. It's at extreme levels since science has ever started measuring these things. Weather patterns, extremities are at extreme levels. And all of this is happening in such a short period of time. In fact, I can say to you, I can take you right to it. I can take you to 2004. Big earthquake. Indonesia. Remember that one? And that was a red line. And I'll use that color deliberately. That was a marker. That was to say to the people, we warned you. We warned you that your discordant ways, your hydrogen bombs, your destructiveness, your selfishness, we warned you that you're in relationship with the planet that you're living on. And the way that you, the mass of the people, are living your lives, ungodly lives. You know, people today are even ashamed to admit that they believe in God or that they love God. And the warnings have been going out that unless the people, and the people are, you know, definitely we have to say not just the people who are awakened, but on average, you know, people's hearts are more open than ever. And there's more kind and good and caring people than ever. But it's not enough yet. It's not enough. So there's no ascended being that wants to see catastrophic conditions upon your planet where there has been disagreement in scientific communities as to the impact of increasing seismic activity, where there has been disagreement in global warming, where there has been disagreement in the scientific communities as to the extremity of weather conditions and abnormality of weather conditions. Those disagreements amongst the scientific community are getting less and less and less. And the numbers of scientists today that are coming into agreement that the conditions of this planet, the structure, the atmosphere, the poisoning of the oceans, waterways, the playing around with the food chain through the manipulation of seeds, all of this has the potential for catastrophic conditions. This is what's been the way in the past. If we say there's a seventh golden age coming, then that means there must have been a sixth golden age and a fifth golden age. And there were. And there were smaller civilizations, and out of each golden age, there were tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands who were harvested, who woke up and turned towards living a God nature, studying higher laws, truth of life. But there's 10 billion of you. That's the problem. You know, today, there are areas where we could say to you, as far as your planet, that you're only 60% safe to travel to. Are you willing, if you decide to go somewhere on a vacation, and we say to you, it's only 60% safe? Are you willing to take that kind of a risk and go there? No. I wouldn't if I was on the earth. No way. And now this is what's starting to happen. There's areas in the Caribbean, there are certain breaks that we're seeing. We are seeing in the present fault lines, we're seeing a seismic activity where tectonic plates are breaking and moving in directions they weren't supposed to be going in. So, you know, I mean, even your scientists are starting to join with us that unless something changes, there could be catastrophic conditions in many of the coastal cities of even North America, Central America. You understand? So if there's any a time, the only reason I'm saying this, if there is any a time, if that's happening, your planet's suffering. You know, your science is not advanced enough to know about the makeup of a planet. Your science, you know, they can talk about carbon and all the things that in which, you know, things like sapphires and diamonds are created in the earth, and your science knows a little bit about the alchemical nature of the elements in the earth that produce the finer metals such as gold. But your science is in kindergarten and understanding how a physical sun and a planet and the people that live on the planet and the kingdoms and all creative creature beings were supposed to habitat in a way that all growth unfolds in a way and a state of perfection. So there's lots of problems on your planet. And all I'm just saying is you have so many reasons. I think you're just crazy. I think you are crazy if you live in a coastal city such as Vancouver, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and any of the eastern coast cities. There's no way you would get me living in Central America. There's no way I would go anywhere near the Caribbean. There is no way I would go anywhere near northern New Zealand, the islands around the Ring of Fire. If you could see how fragile and how destabilized the earth is, you would get up and you would make calls. You would say to yourself, I am a creator being, and I can be more of an instrument in which the light of God that never fails pours down through me and pours into those tectonic plates. I'll finish my statement. You're crazy if you are one of those who live in Vancouver, if you are one of those who live in a coastal city, knowing that your own scientists are ringing the alarm bells and suggesting that people should have 2 weeks of food and water and an emergency supply of power. You're crazy. If you are awake, if you're spiritually minded, and you're not taking some moments every day to pour your blessings when we have taught you how you can make a difference and how you yourselves can make calls for your planet and how you yourselves can pour your light, not your own energy, but you can pour the light of your own God presence into the tectonic belts. You could call to the, mighty I am presence of everyone on this earth. I turn to you, and I turn to the Lord, the Mahachohan, and I turn to the gods of the earth, and I turn to the great ascended host. And what I specifically have my attention on right now is the gas belts. What I am most concerned about right now is the tectonic plates that I have learned have lost so much of their lubrication. And I've learned that these plates are supposed to shift. They're supposed to move. The planet shifts with the people of Earth. And if people shift negatively, that's a huge impact upon the planet. Anyway, my mighty I am presence, great ascended host, I have learned that we have the power to restore some of the natural gas, some of the gas belts that lubricate the tectonic plates so that they can move around instead of banging up against each other in that jarring fashion where the plates are then caused to move upwards, bringing trembling sensation on the surface of the planet. My beloved I am presence, I live on a coastal city. And I'm making this call not only for myself, but for everyone that lives in coastal cities of the Pacific coast, of North America. You choose an area. My beloved I am presence, great ascended host, Lord the Mahachohan, gods of the earth, God Meru, Tabor, God of gold. God of gold could be such a big help here. I call to you, great cosmic beings, restore the gas belts, restore the lubrication around the tectonic plates so that their movement and shifts can take place without that kind of trembling and earth shaking that could bring about such catastrophic conditions on the earth. You could take, based on my conversation with you, you could call upon the light of your I am presence to just come down through you and just raise your arms. And to the tectonic plates, I call upon the light of my all Christ being to go out and around those tectonic plates. Help them restore their divine, their sacred lubrication. Help them move and shift in a way that doesn't bring the trembling and the shaking of the earth. Keep all these areas safe. So you see, dear hearts, every call to your presence, every outpouring of light has to be a huge blessing in your life. You are future Christs. You are future untouchables. It's not your job, unless you're so driven, it's not your job to go out and protest. It's not your job to become caregivers in homes. That's not what you're being raised. Those are just and fine things to do. But that's not your job. Your job is to fulfill your destiny, become untouchables, be raised into your higher Christ consciousness, become instruments for the light of God that never fails to come back onto this planet, save life, end the suffering, restore your planet. And as you do this, this is just going to come back at you, and it's going to form such a beautiful golden sun's presence